So what is EFT? EFT is a tapping technique that is similar to acupuncture by tapping on meridian points while describing the symptom you are experiencing. After completing a round or two of EFT, it will decrease the intensity of the symptom that you're experiencing. And often it significantly decreases the intensity. To begin to use EFT, you need to get used to tapping on the points. You would normally tap longer than this, but just to give you an example of an EFT round, we're just going to do a quick tap round the points. We begin with the karate chop. This one's right on the corner of the eyebrow. This one's on the other side of the eye. This one's under the eye. This one's under the nose. This one's in the crease of the chin. This one's on the collarbone. This one's under the arm. For the women, it's along the bra strap. And the last one's on top of the head. So that's one round of EFT. Right, now we need to create our EFT sentence. Here are some examples of EFT sentences. So say someone is feeling anxious. This would be a sentence to help decrease that anxiety. Even though I am feeling very anxious, I deeply and completely accept myself. Or if someone has a headache, they might say, even though I have a headache, I deeply and completely accept myself. Now, an EFT sentence has two parts to it. The first part of the sentence is describing your symptom. So even though I feel anxious, even though I'm worried about my health, that might be a negative thought that you've got going on. Even though I have a pain in my stomach, or even though I hate my job, even though I'm fearful of the dog next door. Now, the second part of the sentence is getting you to acknowledge that you accept yourself even though you're experiencing this symptom. So it's important to note that this is not you accepting the symptom. It is you accepting yourself even though you are experiencing this symptom. So the first thing we need to do is identify our most intense issue. The most effective way to use EFT is to focus on the most intense symptom that you're experiencing right now. Relax and close your eyes for a few moments and ask yourself, what is it that you're feeling at the moment? It may be a physical pain, or it may be a fear of something. What emotions are you feeling? What negative thoughts are coming to your head? When you think about what is stressing you the most, what is that situation and what does it surface for you? How do you feel about it? Once you recognize what your most intense issue is, that's what we need to focus on today. Now, write down your most intense issue. Now, it's very important that when you're writing the first half of the sentence, we need to write as much detail as possible. If it's a situation or it's something a bit more involved than just feeling angry or feeling upset or you've got a physical pain, because those are more relatively easy to structure in a sentence. But if it's a little bit more complex, like it's a situation or it's more of a paragraph of information, then you need to derive from that paragraph, after you've written it down, what are the emotions that surface? Or what is the negative thought or fear that's arising? Or how does this make you feel? And what is the most intense issue or the most intense symptom that it brings up for you? Now, when you describe this issue, it's good to, instead of saying I have a headache, it's better to say I have a sharp or tingling or aching or throbbing pain in my head, rather than I have a headache, simply because you're really honing in on the details of your issue, which makes it a lot more effective. Also, instead of just saying I feel anxious, sometimes we know why we feel anxious and sometimes we don't. And if we don't, and it's just anxiety and you're not sure where it's coming from, that's fine. You can just say, even though I feel anxious. But if you know why you're feeling anxious, then it's good to say that in the sentence as well. So the more information you add to these sentences, the more effective the result is going to be. Now, this is a good quote. When you accept yourself, the whole world accepts you. This is what we want to achieve with the self-help method. We want to remove the underlying issues that we have within ourselves and realize that we do accept ourselves and we do love ourselves as the person behind all the issues. This is who we are. So this is who we accept and love. So now it's time to add the last part of the sentence. Now, the most common one is I deeply and completely accept myself, but there are others that some people prefer to use, such as I'm okay, or I love and accept myself, I totally accept myself. You can say anything else that means the same thing. So you can choose whichever one you feel more comfortable with. Now you need to put the first and last part of the sentence together. So even though I feel anxious about my relationship, I deeply and completely accept myself. Most intense issue, and then whichever last part of the sentence you're wanting to use. Now it's time to rate the intensity of your issue. So out of 10, how would you rate your most intense issue right now? Now we're doing this so that we can monitor how much it reduces after we've done a couple of rounds of EFT. Okay, so now we need to tap on the points while we say the sentence. The most effective method is to tap on each point while you say the entire sentence. So, even though I feel anxious, I deeply and completely accept myself. And then move on to the next one. Even though I feel anxious, I deeply and completely accept myself. And then you move through each point, saying the complete sentence until you've done one round of EFT. So I'm going to do a template here for you. I'll tap on each of the points. I'll leave enough time between each point so that you can say in your mind your own sentence, and just follow along with me as I tap on the points. So there you go, that's one round of EFT. After doing your round of EFT on your issue today, how do you feel now? Now we need to rate the intensity of your issue now. Back when it started, it might have been at a 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, and now it may have reduced to a 6 or a 3. If the symptom is still there and it's not reduced that much, then I would go back and do another round or two of the same, and you can use the template that I did. If you're happy with the result, then you can move on. So, did it work? If it worked, great. Now you know the power and the effectiveness of what EFT can do for you.